struck me as, if I can say it, the term very, very mature, that you've got the self-awareness to understand how you learn, but also if I say courage, but certainly the opportunity to share that with your manager quite early. So, some people perhaps may be apprehensive about having those sort of conversations with their manager. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I can understand how it can be, how you might be a little bit reserved to do it. And I think it's all in just how you approach that. And I generally tend to do it with a little bit of a question and a bit of an explanation about what I kind of understand about myself. So it
Okay.
starts as a bit of a conversation of like, how did you want to have our one-on-ones? Was there any particular
Mhm.
preference that you have around that? One of the things that I notice about myself is that I might need a little bit more time early on as I like to talk through
Mhm.
at least some of my experiences and what's happening. So, would you mind if I scheduled in maybe a more frequent catch up than
Yeah.
you might have with maybe some of my colleagues or the
Yeah.
other team members,
Mhm.
etc. Because I always think that provided that you are considerate of the impact on the other person around what your preferences might be, because that's ultimately the end of the day, they're my preferences, and I'm
Yeah.
really asking someone to accommodate those preferences and understand that about me. Provided you recognize that that's what you're doing, I
Yeah.
think most people are pretty reasonable in responding to that. There may
Okay.
be some limitations that they have, but it gives them an opportunity to say, oh look, weekly is probably not going to work for me, but let's do fortnightly for a little bit. It just opens the door up for a little bit of, I guess, problem solving
Yeah.
around something that you've kind of put on the table as a
Uh-huh.
preference, but also recognizing that it's going to have an
Yeah.
impact on this other person.
That's really helpful positioning.